go to the Tools panel of Affinity Designer and select one of the shapes. And I'm going to just go with the rounded rectangle. And you can see it's currently filled with a gradient. Well, that's what I'm going to use. It's very nice and colourful. And you can just change it up here, go up to the fills, and you can see your gradient there. You can modify it. And also you can go to the swatches panel and maybe select a different swatch. Just go through the swatches and apply that. You can find all your gradients in the greys, colours, gradients. That's the key one of the swatches panel. Now what I want to do, go to appearance panel, and you can see I've got here a fill, normal, and that gradient there. What I can do, right click, and I can duplicate that. So I've got two now, two associated with this single shape. And I can go over here to the swatches and select a different swatch. Also I can go over here to the gradients, the gradient tool, and I can vary the gradient. I can move it around, can resize it, different positions, different origins, etc. And also again, go over there and I can right click again and I can say duplicate. So I've got three now. And again, I can go and select maybe a different gradient, maybe that one. So a whole range of different gradients, all currently normal. So you can't see the ones below. So what you can do, go to normal and say, you know what, I don't want normal, I want difference. So you get straight away a really super colourful design. And you can always vary it, you can always change it to maybe one of the others. Go to this one, this fill, and click there and go down to difference. And there again, you've got another super design, which you can still continue to modify. So select that, and you can then go over to the gradient tool and you can move that around, change the position, etc. And you can see then you can create different designs from that. What you can also do once you've got that design, and I'm not going to continue to modify it, you could obviously do that, but you can also go to the styles. So here's the styles panel, view menu again, studio, etc. Go to the right side menu over here, and this is currently selected, that's a key thing, and go there and go add style from selection. So it's added there, you can see style 28. You obviously can save it to a different category, maybe a gradients category instead. What you can also do is you can now go to File and go to Edit in Photo. You have to have both. If you haven't got photo, this is the end of the... So Edit in Photo, and that will go to Affinity Photo. And you can see what happens. It basically opens the document, creates this design, and it's literally you're editing in both at the same time. So any changes here, it's going to be reflected back in the other one. So let's just quickly modify this, and you can do various changes. But again, you can see what you got now. You haven't got multiple layers, but you've still got this super colourful design. Now, there is no feature for view. If I go down here to studio, there's no appearance panel. So you can't modify the different gradients in here. You have to go back to designer if you want to modify them. What you can also do, of course, go over here, layers. You can go to a layer menu and maybe new light filter layer, maybe blur, distort, ripple, whatever. Just go for one of them. Maybe colours, perfectly reasonable. So obviously that's going to completely ruin it, but halftone, so halftone effect. So completely, I've got all the colours, but I've removed. However, what you can do, you've got blend modes, so you can always go, say, multiply. So you've got that design there. And now also I've got obviously other blending modes, but I'm just going to close that. Now with that design, I can now go File and down to Edit in Designer. I could, of course, go Edit in Publisher. I've got that as well. Brilliant application. So Edit in Designer, now into Designer again, and you can then move around. Now you notice over here in the Layers panel, if I bring the Layers panel over here, you can see you've got the halftone as well as, of course, this gradient. And you can move it around. You can lock children, so you can actually lock it, and you can see it moves around that way as well. So, way of doing that. Resize it. Of course, you can also combine it. So maybe hold down the Alt Option key and then duplicate that. And then, of course, you've got here blending modes for that. So you can go through here, maybe go for difference there, or maybe rotate. So you can create a whole number of variations of this design. But also, still, the key thing is that this is still live. So you can still edit the halftone here as well. If you want to double click, you can edit this. But you can also go to, and I'm probably not all the various swatches. There is appearance panel. You've got the appearance panel here. You've still got all of those fills, which you can still go to and say, go over here to the gradient tool, and you can still continue to edit that gradient. Go to this one, edit that gradient, and so on and so on. Change the blending modes. So maybe go for exclusion, etc. If you want to do that, of course. So that's running through this appearance panel, which can be used in Affinity Photo as well as Affinity Designer. Hope you found this of interest. Thank you much.